Understanding the user interface and the ribbon in Revit Architecture 2011. So if you notice, as most Autodesk products have gone, they've used what they call the ribbon. And the ribbon, you either love it or hate it. In my case, I love it, and I'll explain why. In the ribbon, you've got everything on the Home tab that you typically will use in the project throughout. Your wall components, elements, door elements, window elements, 3D components, columns, architectural and structural, all your roof types, ceiling, floor types, etc. And you can move on down the list and notice that everything here is accessible. If you don't see the thing you want, typically it's hidden behind its own category. Under the Insert tab, this is where all of your links are managed. You can kind of consider this as the XREF manager from AutoCAD. A Revit file you can only link, you cannot import. A link CAD, which allows it to be constant and allows for updates from CAD files, DWF markup, any decals you bring in for building signs and such, and then your XREF link manager. Under here you'll have CAD formats, Revit, and DWF markups. You got your import CAD, insert for file, whether you're bringing in views from another Revit file or 2D elements also from another Revit file. Images, and again you can manage your images just like you could your links. And your families is also available from here, which is also available in other locations of the ribbon. Your Annotate tab, which is obviously annotation, anything that deals with detailing, texting, or tag. Analyze, which is for your energy settings right now for massing. Structural, which isn't full-blown like our Revit structural is, but fairly close. You do have your beam systems, your trusses, and your bracing allowable in architecture. Massing a site, collaboration. This is where you'll sync with Central, work with work sets, copy, monitor other projects, interference check, reconcile your hosting, as well as coordination review. Under your View tab, this is where you'll create sections, callouts, drafting views, new elevations, and new plan views. You also have your schedules and legends from the view box. Manage, this is the actual project management as well as some Revit management, but typically it's used for project management. Under settings you've got project information, project parameters, project units. You can transfer these project standards to another open Revit project or vice versa. Purging of all your unused elements and objects. Additional settings such as line weights, line styles, line patterns, detail levels, and of course your section tags, elevation tags, and callout tags. The location of the project, the coordinates of how you're going to coordinate this project with others or onto a topo map. The position, whether it's project north, true north. Of course, design options, a key feature in Revit. And again, you can manage your links just like you could from the Insert tab. You can do that here as well. This is where you'll manage your phases, your demolish tool, and you can also select elements by ID. Any warning that pops up in Revit will actually be hidden as well in this ribbon tab, and all your macros. If we go over to add-ins, this is anything you've added in from a third-party source or Autodesk Subscription Advantage Pack. And your modify tool. This is the only ribbon that will stay constant throughout the entire project. This section here will never change. Now should I select an element, you'll notice it doesn't change, but this is where your new selection will always be added. Here, here, doesn't matter what element you grab, this will always change, but this will stay constant. The other thing you have in the Revit user interface is the quick toolbar, which is this up here. If you drop down this list, you can turn on and off different tools. I can come over to the right and I can type in for help, my subscription center, my communication center, and this is key. If you click here, this will often tell you whether your product is updated or not. Check this periodically to make sure you have all patches installed. Over here you've got the fly through and walk through tool, the steering wheel. In 3D view this will be the cube. Over here on the left, this is the properties dialog box. No longer do you have to right click an element to view properties. In fact, you'll notice that a section right here, because this is the properties, which is also here. This will become your best friend of the 2011 user interface. And anything and everything in Revit will be processed through here. Down below is your project browser. Everything from floor plans to sheets, schedules, legends, and views, groups, and families will all be through here. And again, Revit links will also be here. Down here is a visualization toolbar. Hidden elements, temporary hide isolate, crop, show crop, do not crop, shadows off and on, sun path, detail level, and your visual style, and of course your scale. And down below here is your work set, and then to the right will be your design options. And this here is if you have multiple items selected, this will filter out or tell you how many items you have selected currently. And one last thing, if you want more real estate and you don't want to see the ribbon as much, you can come up here and select this button until you get down to the view that you like. That is the 2011 Revit Architecture User Interface.